So Delta has sent out a little email, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to scare everybody about becoming union. And so they've done a question and answer section, and they are asking the questions that they want flight attendants to have, and they've even provided the answers for the flight attendants. But we're actually going to go to the source, and I'm here with International President of the Association of Flight Attendants, Sarah Nelson.
Hi, Galen.
Okay, can we do this on the fly?
Let's
all right,
do this
just
on
real
the fly.
quick. All right, I'm going to be Delta, and then you answer the questions.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So Delta says, do you want to hit pause on pay raises?
Well, that's so funny because what they're trying to insinuate is that if you support the union, you're going to stop getting a pay increase. When in fact, actually in all of our contracts, we negotiate not only a pay increase in the first year, but every year going out. So if you look at that, flight attendants are getting a pay increase every single year. But what Delta's also trying to say is that they're going to stop giving you a pay increase if you start supporting the union. Well, history shows that that's just absolutely not true. Delta will continue to give a pay raise to say you don't need a union, we'll take care of you. And that's what they've shown. So no one needs to be afraid of this, and we're certainly not going to stop Delta from giving you a pay increase.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Delta asking their flight attendants this, okay?
Okay.
Are you willing to increase your wait time for work rule enhancements, by bringing in a union?
Oh my goodness. When you have your work rules locked in the contract, it's something that you can count on. What I hear from flight attendants all over the country is that they're tired of going to work and getting a push notification that suddenly their work rules have changed. They're also complaining about this bi-weekly pay that has taken away their flexibility, because if you're not working in that 2-week time period now, you're not getting a paycheck. So it's taken away all the flexibility from flight attendants, and Delta did that overnight with no discussion with the flight attendants. So with the union, you have something you can count on.
Okay, so Delta's asking the flight attendants, is the possibility of improvements in a few years as good as a consistent track record of actually making them?
I am so happy to hear that Delta is recognizing that there's a possibility of improvements with the union. That's the truth, and that's what they're trying to scare you against. Notice the way that question is parsed. But let's just recognize, with a union, there will be improvements, and until there's improvements that you vote for, you don't even pay your first dues dollar.
That's something that people need to know. I'm glad that they asked the question too. Okay, do you think signing an A card is risk-free? Because you can always choose to vote no.
Well, clearly Delta has not kept up with this AFA campaign, where we're saying this is not a card drive. This is not about just signing authorization cards. This is about making Delta a better employer and taking on the issues that matter to flight attendants right now. So take, for example, the toxic uniforms. We're dealing with that issue right now, even while we organize. And the truth of the matter is that cards don't vote, people vote. And this is about flight attendants. This campaign is about flight attendants. So I am happy to say to every flight attendant out there, if you're not ready to vote for AFA, don't sign an authorization card. Sign that authorization card when you're ready to take hold of your future, when you're ready to embrace that hope that comes with a union, when you're ready to reject the fear in the workplace because you have something concrete and you have more than yourself standing up for your workplace and how you take pride in the job. So don't sign those cards until you're ready.
So Delta asks, do you think AFA members choose their own contract negotiators?
Well, Delta apparently is behind the times on this one too, because what has happened since the last time flight attendants voted in 2010 is that the AFA Board of Directors changed our Constitution, and now there is a 30-day process after you vote for the union and get certified with that union representation, where you have the opportunity to sign your membership application and recommend who you'd like to have as your leadership. And so I appoint whoever gets the most nominations from their peers. So in fact, actually, it's written in our Constitution in black and white that actually Delta flight attendants will decide who their representatives are.
It sounds like they're choosing not to update their information.
Well, I think it helps, to keep people confused. But that's why we're answering the questions, Galen, and we'll continue to do that.
Okay. Are you willing to endure years of stagnation during contract negotiations?
My goodness, I hope that Delta will have more respect for the flight attendants than to suggest that they wouldn't get busy in negotiating a contract right away. AFA has the ability to negotiate in just a couple weeks' time. And in fact, that's all it took for Delta and Northwest to put together the entire merger. So when they have an incentive to reach an agreement, they've shown that they can do it. And that's what we're going to do here too.
Okay, Sarah, I'm glad you've answered these questions.
Well, Galen, what I've seen and what I've experienced is that flight attendants are really smart, savvy people. And when they have the correct information, they make really good choices. And so we're going to be out here making sure that everyone has all the correct information so that they can decide for themselves what's best.